We're live. Hello, hello, everybody. I have to give me a brief second. We're going back to like old school. But in the meantime, how is everybody? I hope you guys can see me, A, and I hope that you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful day. So, things went weird. Let's just be real. Think it's just been a like super strange day, but that's okay. We're gonna make this work. Can I find, I just want to make sure you guys can see me. But anyway, while we do this, thank you guys. Oh yeah, that's not bad. That's not a bad camera angle. Not bad. Hey, Michelle, what's up? I'm sorry, I'm just babbling here for a second. We were having like major, I don't know. It's just been a crazy day. And then, did you? I know it was a disaster. It was a disaster. I can't figure out how to do it. If you know or find out, let me know. That'd be great. So I had to like change my whole setup, which is cool. Just gotta like roll with the punches. Now you get to see a lot more of my craft area. So maybe this ultimately isn't a bad thing. Close my door there a little bit. Randy always gives me a hard time when the door's open. He's gonna think that like people are gonna walk in. It's just a craft closet. It is full of like all things crafts. Nobody can walk out of there. Anyway, it's been a crazy day. So I just need to relax and make something cool. So I'm so used to looking up my camera right here and it's not there. So I'm gonna keep looking at it. Facebook business app. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into it, or I don't know. We're gonna figure this out. But anyway, this is what we're doing tonight is our club transfer. I'm so excited. I had this for actually a few days. It just hasn't worked out for me to like pick a day. So this month, Mondays are the day. Mondays are the day. It seems completely fitting. Completely fitting. So for anybody out there who doesn't know about our club is super cool, like craft in a box kind of subscription box deal. $19.99 free shipping in the United States. And you get an envelope, a little bit more sturdy than this though. This is for designers because we don't get the paste. But anyway, you get an envelope, which is super cute and just screams like happy mail to you. Inside of which comes a exclusive monthly transfer. Each design is different and exclusive to the club. It's not one that you could purchase from like our website, right? So you have to be a club member or a designer in order to get this particular design. Each month it changes and it's always awesome. And then along with that, as a club member, you get 3 of our paste singles, which come in a packet. As such, so it's like about 1/5 of an ounce, 0.19. So almost like 0.2 ounces worth of paste, which doesn't sound like a lot, but honestly, it's like pretty full from like here down. You know, it's like the bag of chips. They got to put the air in it to like keep it cool and whatnot, right? So about from here down is paste. It's enough to do like multiple projects if you're not doing like the entire like one and done style. You might use a little bit more if you only used one color, but whatever. You get 3, so there's no reason to only use one. This month, you get these 3 colors. You have Meadow, which is a fabulous green, Storm, which is pretty cool and like versatile gray, and then Bumblebee, which is like our vibrant yellow, right? All of which would be super gorgeous with this design. Excuse me, but I really, really wanted to do it in more of like a muted tone and then kind of focus on some of our new spring colors too. So I am keeping in the exact same scheme with the green yellow, although I'm doing white instead of Storm. I could probably do Storm, but I'm going to put it on a black background, so I want it to be white. So these are the colors that we're actually going to use tonight. We have our bright white, which is always fabulous. And then these 2 are like our in vogue seasonal colors. This guy's called Pistachio, and this one is Golden Hour. It goes so far. I know, it's crazy. I need to I haven't actually done the test myself. I've heard of a few people doing the test, so I just like trust that they know what they're doing. But maybe one day we'll do that. That would be a fun, like, excuse me, I don't know what I want to do, kind of a live. That's a good idea. If you don't mind me sharing your idea, that's super cool. Yeah, you can do a whole bunch with it. Our paste goes a long way. But anyway, enough about the fun products. Oh, no, we're not done yet. So this is the surface that we're using. This is a Club Couture surface as well. This board is absolutely amazing. I love it. I actually, when I came down here, I told myself that I need to buy a couple more of them just for my own personal stock because I only have like maybe one more remaining because I love it. But this is our Grayson board. It's one of my most favoriteest boards. It's definitely affordable for a, even at retail. Although as a designer, you do get somewhat of a discount. But even at retail, it's completely reasonable. But I love the black on black. We have one that is white framed as well, which you guys have seen me use quite a bit, but I really like the black on black look, and I don't have to paint it. It just comes like this. It just comes like this. All right, I need to like breathe and settle down. It's been a crazy day. This is our May transfer, and I do believe it's called Sweet Lemon Grove, right? You guys can see, hopefully, anyway. This sweet lemon right here. And then at the bottom, it says where lemons melt like lemon drops. I knew that was familiar. This is gonna fit right sideways. I was hoping it would. Okay, that's gonna make my day a little bit happier. Should we put the bow at the top or at the bottom? Oh, let's do the bottom. All right, I think I have a plan now. As y'all saw, I just opened it. So, I mean, I've seen a preview. I've seen what some other people have done with it. Like our corporate always puts out, you know, like some ideas and stuff as well. But this is the first time that I've actually like seen it. Which I know sounds silly, but until you get it in your hands, you don't exactly necessarily know what size it is and what you want to do with it. But yeah, I'm excited. And then there are two other little pieces that you could definitely, and we will as we go with our Club Couture business. But two other pieces. This home is adorable. That would be great on like all kinds of stuff. And then this little guy says squeeze the day. Hopefully you guys can see the squeeze the day. Right, so that would be cute just with this top part. But anyway, we are going to focus on the main section. Being that it is the first Club Couture installment of the month, I try to do, you know, it kind of in a traditional sense. That's usually my game plan. All right, so all I'm doing right now is taking my trusty transfer trimmers. You don't have to have the transfer, you don't have to have our transfer trimmers to cut. Obviously, you can cut these guys with any sort of scissors, but what's really cool is that they are coated and they're non-stick. So like even though our adhesives, as y'all know, our transfers are adhesive, the like sticky part doesn't stick to your scissors. So then you can turn around and cut, you know, like more with them and they don't get the like gunky thing on them. All right, I'm liking where this is at. All right, first things first, always. All right, cool. Make sure that your hanger is on the top if it's something that you're gonna hang. If it's gonna be a leaner, I guess it really wouldn't matter. You could always flip it over. But if it has a hanger and you intend on using it, that is important to know. And this one, this is the board that resides back there in my background. So there's actually a command strip on it because I didn't want to put a nail in my wall right there. So I just put that guy on there and it's like holds. I mean, we haven't withstood like an earthquake or anything ridiculous yet, so maybe not in the long run, but they go up there all the time and I've never had one fall off the walls, so. Not to plug the command strips by any means, but something like that, right? It doesn't have to be that brand, something like that, it'll work. All right, let's start making some stuff. Let's just do Grove. Okay. I always like to write on my backer sheets. You don't have to. I find that it makes it a whole lot easier. And I don't necessarily write the name of the transfer, especially if it's multi-parts like this. but something that'll give me an idea of what it was. Because after I wash it, yeah, you get to use it and then you get to wash it and then use it again. So after I wash it, I'm gonna put it right back on its backer sheet. That way I can use it again and again. And they're brand new. You also want to put some fuzz down there. I'm telling you, I feel like I'm on high speed ahead tonight. It's just been a crazy hectic day. Let's get this down and I'll tell you about a crazy hectic day. Okay, fuzz seems to be adequate. We're gonna place it somewhat towards the bottom because I would like to put a cool little bow embellishment type thing on the top. So I'm gonna give myself a little bit of space for that. Key is to making sure that it's straight, especially when it has lines like that, because otherwise you will know that it's not. All right, that looks pretty good, right? Looks pretty straight up and even and all good with me. All right, here comes the fun part. Take a dry squeegee, or you can use your hands. I just find that this really pushes out all the air for me, so I just take a dry, clean squeegee. I'm gonna use the squeegee anyway, so it's not like I have to go and look for one. And just go over it and push. Not hard, but just enough until you hear no more of the snap, crackle, pops. Because we're not making cereal, we are making crafts. That's for real. You don't want that. Basically what that is telling you is that there's air trapped underneath that adhesive and it's like popping out, which is all fun and dandy in the audio world, but when it comes to paste, it's gonna like seep under that adhesive if there's not like a good stick there, and then you're gonna have like little blobs of paint spillage, paste spillage, and I mean, they're cleanable, but do yourself a huge favor and clean them up before you make them. Just my advice. But the surfaces are totally reusable, so if that happens, you can definitely clean them up. All right, so like I said, pistachio. And these are our like creamy new formula pastes, barring the white. This white, I don't know, man. I've had this white for a minute and it just works every time. So theoretically, it's not gonna let me down tonight. Okay, we had a little paste speck fall out there. Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't know. This white seems to have always maintained its consistency even before we changed our formula. So I'm gonna keep using it too. Not that I'm getting rid of any of my old paste. The colors are super cool. So Club Couture kind of like upped their game when it came to their pastes. The company got really big, really fast, I think is kind of what happened, which is a good problem to have. But then you also have to keep up with the demand. You know, when you have people who are interested and it's like a growing up in awesomeness, you have to like prove to people that you're legit and you're real. So they had to keep up with it. As a result of that, they kind of had to change like a little bit of their manufacturing practices. And I mean, I obviously am not like the CEO or like in the know of the true company, but this is kind of like, as a businesswoman, the take of it that I had. And it ultimately benefited us tremendously. I'm sure in production it benefited them as well, but as an end user, definitely the odds were in our favor. That's for sure. Yeah, I just watched part of that movie the other night, so that's all in my brain. Okay, I think we're ready. I think we're really ready to do it. Okay, so ideas are that woman obviously has to be in our yellow, which is called Bumblebee. Clearly the leaves will probably need to be in green. I would like for this part to be white. And then I think we're gonna kind of go down from there. All right, so we're gonna mix these three colors, only three colors, because that's essentially what you get. These are not the exact same colors that you get, but if you had a white surface, that storm would look gorgeous on it. So we're just gonna go in and start covering. And as we cover, like I said, I'll tell you about my crazy day. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the lemon. I do. All right, so I don't know if, I think most of you guys know, but in case somebody doesn't out there know, I actually work, believe it or not, I don't do this all day, although that would be glorious. I own and operate a doctor's office, right? So that's my 9 to 5. I am a medical, what do they call? Like I'm an admin, let's just go with that. I'm a health center manager, but then I also like own it because my dad was a doctor. So that's kind of how this whole business came about. But since he passed away, unfortunately, I have been tasked with taking over the family business, which is fine. It's something I grew up in, and I'm just used to it, and I'm really like not bad at it. So I do that normally. Doctor's office, right? My little bitty town of like 3,500 people, the entire town lost power, okay? And not to sound, you know, like terribly ridiculous, but that's a big deal. Especially since we now are mostly like electronic medical records, and we even like as a result of COVID had to do like the televisits, telehealth and all that stuff. So we are heavily at this point dependent on electricity. We really are, just in order to do normal day-to-day business. I mean, even like prescriptions are sent electronically. Long gone are the old paper script, which would have been wonderful to have today. Because years ago, when the power went out, as long as it wasn't terribly dark and, you know, like you weren't doing anything that couldn't somewhat be seen, you could maintain. Now you just can't. You can't. You have to have electricity in order to properly do what you're trying to do. So that was one portion of it. So I was able to get my provider to confirm that she had electricity at her home. So we were able to transfer there's some things that we just can't do over the phone, but most of our visits we were able to transfer into tele. That way we could take care of people the best that we could with the minor kinds of stuff. And then on top of that, as if that weren't enough fun, on top of that, I am one of 2 VFC. That's what it's called. I don't know if y'all are in Illinois or not, but in Illinois it's called VFC. I'm going to peel this up real quick. And it is the Vaccine for Children program. So the state of Illinois, I'm going to go ahead and like peel because I want to dry this, but I do not want to melt my surface. Or I'm sorry, I don't want to melt my transfer. Hang on one second. I'll be right back with that. Okay, one of 2 providers, offices in my county that actually provides this service, right? So it's service, so it's pretty important, and it's pretty cool that they like let us do it. With that comes then the responsibility of maintaining, because the state then sends me childhood vaccines. We're not talking about COVID. We don't want to get into that. Whether you want to get it or not, that's your own prerogative. But these are required for school childhood immunizations, like your measles, you know. Nobody wants the measles. So I'm in charge of like this huge vaccine supply. Comes into my office, normally under all other circumstances, sits in my refrigerator and or freezer, depending on the type of vaccine, and maintains quite well. When you don't have power, that becomes a problem. It really does. So I sat there for a while after the power went out and was watching the temperatures just go up and up and up and up, and no one could give me like an ETA on when my power was going to come back. I think I want to do this part in white. Couldn't give me an ETA on when my power was going to go back, and I can't very well sit there. We're talking about like 60, 70, well, probably closer to 60, $1,000 worth of vaccines. And once they hit a certain temperature, they're trash, right? And I can't do that. So I'm watching the temperatures just rise. And as a result, anyway, I had to pack all these things up in these like official transport containers and move them to a new location. All good, part of the job. Funny enough, though, about an hour later, after I'm completely done moving, the power was out for longer than an hour, but after I'm completely done moving all of these vaccines and we're settled and we're ready, they call me and tell me that the power's back on. Which is great. Don't get me wrong, all great. But then I gotta move them all back. Because that's where they belong. So it's just been like a back and forth, very trying day. I'm sorry, y'all probably aren't overly interested in that, but that's how my Monday went. I know they talk about the manic Mondays and all that, and usually usually things go pretty smooth. Like, I don't typically have like the Mondays, but today was like a legit Monday. It was. All right, that's looking cool. Let's peel up our grove. Guys, this is coming together well. Thank you all for listening to my story. Needed somebody to hear me whine for a minute. Not really. Like I said, it's just part of the job. It is, but it made for a very odd day. So then, I gotta be careful with this heat gun. I can't get anywhere near this transfer or it will melt it, because this heat gun gets incredibly hot. So you can see I'm angling it. I actually got our new quick dry tool, but unfortunately for me, the cord is just a little shorter than my setup. So I need to get like an extension cord, and then I won't have an issue with that. All right, back down. Back down. And then we're just gonna fill in this bottom part. I think we're gonna do it with the yellow, just to accent our yellow. And then this little project, I think, will be chalked. All right, here we go. Oh, I got paste like all over my finger. All over. All right, cool. All right, so enough about the power outage. The real problem for tonight is that I cannot, for the life of me, figure out how to switch my camera. All right, so I use an iPhone. In case anybody needs the details, I use an iPhone, and there used to be like a really fun little like button whenever you would do lives that would allow you to switch. Like, you could still be watching your own camera, but it would switch like the like it would mirror. It was a mirrored effect. You weren't really switching your camera. It was just a mirrored effect. So basically, you would take everything that it saw, which essentially was backwards, and then turn it like right side forward, which was awesome. That way, the words that you guys saw weren't backwards and all that jazz. So when I went on to get prepared for my live earlier tonight, I realized that that function is like, it's gone. And I can't do that anymore. So I have my camera actually set. Dude, this is so cool. Actually set against the wall, so I can't see myself, which is fine. But I spent like a good amount of time trying to figure out like how to go about and get that like back to normal again. And I, for the life of me, cannot find like the little switch to push. So I did like some decent research. I mean, I didn't spend a whole lot of time, but I would say a good like half an hour, 45 minutes researching, just trying to figure out how to make this like work again. Thinking that they probably had just moved it and whatnot. but unfortunately, to no avail. So we're going to, this is a work in progress. We're going to figure it out. When I flip that transfer over, I evidently got a little bit of paste on the bottom of my frame. So I'm just going to take this guy and clean that off. All right, cool. All right, and here, my dears, my friends, is our sign so far, right? Isn't that gorgeous? Sweet Lemon Grove. Perfect. All right, I need a, I wrote this down, I didn't even take a drink yet. It's time. All right, let's get these all wiped off, kind of, and out of the way. And then we're gonna make a fun little embellishment bow for the top of it. And Club Couture #1 will be in the books. All right. But as you saw, it's that simple, and clearly you could definitely use those colors. I think these particular, like, more pastel colors pop off of here really well too. Plus there are in vogue colors. I like to show you guys that because the cool thing, and also kind of like the timely thing, is that they're only around for this season. And so if you like those colors, you have to go and pick them up sooner than later because they will go away. Meadow, Storm, and Bumblebee are standards. Standards will probably be around forever, kind of standards. All right, so I'm gonna scoot this guy over here and we're gonna make a cute, quick little bow. And then we're gonna just, I don't know, make it fun. Make it fun, make it fun. All right, I got a whole bunch of different ribbons here. Let's just cut some. This one's gonna be long enough to wrap all the way around the top. Like such. Oh yeah, plenty. All right, yep. Okay, so let's start with this piece. Just attach it on here, make sure it's flat. That would be great. I'll just tie a little tie up in here. Maybe kind of have a base to start with, right? Okay, this is a little long. Let's cut you. Ooh, guys, I got a new pair of scissors. You know you're a crafter when you get excited about a new pair of scissors. I did, and they're pretty awesome. Okay. Scoot you over a little bit. What's fun is if you don't tie them quite, or like glue them quite down, you can still move them. Okay, so we have the beginnings of our bow right there. I'm gonna go ahead and make this. All right, right about here. Cut a couple pieces of each of these little ribbons. I got some yellow ribbon. I got some little lacy ribbon. I've got some bigger yellow ribbon, which is probably more like actual lemon color. Cut some of that. I like this with the little pearls in it, so let's cut that. Alright, so a messy bow. Basically, you just take some like strips of ribbon, all kinds of different ribbons. Mix it up, make sure you got lots of good color. This one I want to put in here too. This one I haven't used yet though, so I gotta get you open. Opening ribbon is seriously like not my most favoriteest thing to do. Not that I don't love the ribbon, but it's challenging. They put this, there it goes, super thin film around the ribbon. Makes it a little bit more challenging to cut. All right. Perfect. Do we think that's enough? I think so. We're just trying to make a little bit of bow, little bitty bow. All right, let's start with our widest of the ribbons, which is the yellow. And you just take them and you crisscross them. Crisscross. Applesauce. Right? Every time I say crisscross, my daughter says applesauce. It cracks me up. And then this way, and then our last two. And then we need something to tie it off with. I was looking for my zip ties, but being that it has been the Monday that it is, I probably, oh, yes. See, at least the like gods of crafts are with me. Mini zip ties, they're just, what is this guy? A 4-inch cable tie. Seems to work the best. So we're gonna just slide it under here. Make sure we get under all of it. And then we're gonna start to, I do it backwards every time. Okay, every time. So let's do that again. Slide underneath there. Seriously, slide. Underneath all, I need you underneath all of the ribbons. Maybe we should just scrunch. We can. And then lay you back down. All right, cool. Push it through here. And you're gonna start to hear the little like meow. And when you start to hear that, now wouldn't be a bad time to like even out your ribbons. And just make sure everybody's kind of equal on both sides. Find the middle, keep pulling. Make sure that the little nub goes in the back. Even it out. Even it out in the back. Even it out in the front. And then pull. Pull, pull, pull. Tight, tight, tight. You don't want your bow to come undone. All right, once you got it nice and like tight, tight, you can take those scissors and kind of trim it off. And then you have the beginnings, right, of a little bow. At this point, you're just going to start spreading it and fluffing it apart. Make sure you can see all of your gorgeous ribbons. Fluff, pull, you know. There's all kinds of ways to make ribbon, don't get me wrong. And if you have found a more spectacular way to do it, I say go for it. All right, I think the plan anyway was to set this on top of here and tie it off. Okay, so we tied the top part of it, as y'all saw, right? We're going to take this guy, set it right in the middle here, and then just tie this guy, this ribbon, around it one more time to secure it in place. You could hot glue it, you could, there's other options, but this seems to be one of the better options. Just takes a minute to get this thicker ribbon to go through. All right, come on, fingers. Seriously. And in it goes. All right, and then we're just gonna pull, 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 pull. Super tight. And then ultimately that will just end up kind of part of our bow. Well, there's a piece of tape or something at the end of this one. All right, from there, we're just gonna pretty it up. Take our scissors, clean up, because this little piece got kind of squirrely. Spread our bow apart. Move our pretty bow down. You know what? Actually, I think do I want it down? Do I want it on top? I think I want it right here. I may end up putting a little magnet or something in order to get this guy twisted the way I want. So with ribbon, you just play with it. Make it fun. That looks pretty good though. I like our little easy, fun bow. And I love her sign. What do you guys think? Isn't that cool? Right? So obviously this could go on some smaller surfaces because we didn't take up the, we gotta spread this bow out a little bit more. Make him a little bit more expansive. He's kind of like tight in his ways, and that's okay, but just keep fluffing him until you're like completely satisfied with it. Like such. That way he looks fun. I love it. I really, really do. All right, yeah, so like I was saying, obviously this surface, or this transfer can go on some smaller surfaces. I have a few plans already for next week's project. I got this really cute little planter kind of thing that has some lemons in it, and I think we'll ultimately maybe make a wreath or something like that. I don't know, we'll see. But this is our first go at it. I hope you guys love it. I do. Give me a thumbs up if you love it. If you have any ideas as to something you would like to make or to see me make, just drop them in the comments and I can probably make that happen for you. I always like to hear what other people would like to see, that's for sure. And I've got absolutely no problems trying them out, for real. All right, y'all. Thank you guys so much for dropping in. Hopefully this camera angle hasn't been too terribly crazy, but we have to do it. It's the May Club Part 1, so there was no stopping us, camera angle or not. All right, guys, come back next Monday for Part 2. Come back, not tomorrow, Wednesday. Come back Wednesday for a, we're going to kick off some patriotic style stuff. Memorial Day and 4th of July are just around the corner. So we're going to kick those off starting on Wednesday. I got my stars in. You guys are not going to want to miss the wooden stars. They're awesome. All right. Enjoy. I feel a little lost because I can't just like push the button and like end it. So I'm going to have to get up, walk over there, and then end it. But it's going to be okay. We're going to figure this out. All right. I love you all. Have a good night, and I will see you guys soon.